Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My brother, my sister, this message does not come to you by chance. It fell before your eyes at a precise moment, at the beginning of a month that you perhaps no longer expected, but that the sky has never forgotten. You waited, you prayed, you cried sometimes without an answer. You wondered if Allah had heard you. And today you hear this. Allah said everything was planned for the beginning of May. It is not a simple word of comfort. It is a spiritual truth, an appointment written in your destiny. What you carried in your heart, what you begged for in the silence of your nights, Allah has never ignored it. He knew, He saw everything, and in His perfect knowledge He has appointed a time. That moment is now. Allah never forgets the righteous. He never delays without reason. When He makes you wait, it is because He shapes you. When He delays, it is because He protects. And when He chooses a time to intervene, that time is blessed, precise, and filled with wisdom. And your Lord creates what He wills and chooses. It is not for them to choose. Surah Al-Qasas 68. You are entering a different season. Things will start to move. It is not an illusion nor a false hope. That's an answer, a divine response for those who continued to believe despite doubts, despite pain, despite waiting. Allah chose you for this message. This is not to entertain you, but to prepare you. Prepare your heart, open your hands, be ready to receive. The start of May is no coincidence. It is a signature from Allah. When Allah remains silent, it is never an oversight. This is not indifference. It is a divine form of construction. You watch the time pass. You count the days, the weeks, the months. You ask yourself, why isn't anything changing? Why does my prayer remain suspended as if it had never left my lips? But Allah, He does not count as you. He acts in the invisible, in eternity. When you see nothing, He builds everything. Allah's silence is heavy sometimes, but it is full of meaning. He disarms you to arm you better. He takes away certain things from you to give you others, much better. It is not because He ignores you, but because He prepares what your heart is not yet ready to receive. He knows your impatience, but He also knows your potential. And sometimes you have to break yourself a little to reveal that potential. You know, like a seed buried underground, we no longer see it for a long time. You might think she is dead, but in truth, it is there, in the dark, that she transforms. It opens, it expands, it grows, and one day she breaks through the surface. In the same way, your faith sprouted in the invisible. Allah has kept you hidden. He has formed you in secret. What you experienced in silence was so that you were ready for the moment of the visible. You were frustrated, yes. Proven, no doubt. But look back. What you thought was a delay was actually divine training. What you took for rejection was protection. You were not abandoned, you were shaped. Allah used silence as a precision tool for your destiny. Nothing was left to chance. And today, at the beginning of this month that you no longer expected, the sky finally speaks. Allah said, everything was planned for the beginning of May. This means that your story does not begin now. She continues, but this time in the light. What you built in darkness, what you carried in tears, will begin to blossom. Do not doubt anymore. The silence of Allah was a language. You are entering into what He has kept you for all this time. And if you knew the beauty of what is happening, you would even thank Him for the months of emptiness. Before the changes manifest in the external world, Allah prepares you internally. In His infinite wisdom, He sends subtle signs to prepare you for the invisible. These signs are not always obvious, but to the awakened heart, every detail becomes a divine announcement. Maybe you feel tired, like everything has suddenly become more difficult. Perhaps some relationships have become strained, or plans that seemed full of promise have begun to fall apart. You say to yourself, why is everything moving away? Why do I feel alone or isolated? These moments are precious signs. It is not a curse, but a preparation. Allah begins to remove what could distract you from what is happening. It is not a punishment, but a purification. It is in these moments of solitude that you will begin to hear the voice of your soul more clearly. The noises of the world disappear, and you enter a spiritual dimension where Allah speaks to you in a more intimate way. It is there, in this void, that you will discover the divine light which approaches you. And you are not alone in this journey. Allah is always with you, even in silence. Look around you. The signs of this change are already there. Perhaps there is a feeling of confusion, a feeling of loss of bearings. But understand this, every loss is an opportunity to gain something greater. Maybe Allah has removed certain things from your life to make room for something more precious. Maybe He took you away from relationships or situations that prevented you from seeing clearly what is truly important to you. It's like a tree that loses its leaves in autumn. They fall to prepare the tree to receive new life in spring. Change is never easy, but it is necessary. This beginning of May marks this spring for your soul. The ground is now ready to receive what Allah has prepared for you. The change you are waiting for is already happening. Things will no longer stay the same, but before they open up before you, Allah wants you to be ready to see with the eyes of faith, no longer with the eyes of doubt. This month marks the transition, the blossoming of everything you have carried within you. Don't worry. What you are experiencing is normal. This is not the end, but the beginning. Allah prepare your heart, mind, and soul for what is to come. The pain you felt wasn't wasted. Perhaps you have had moments when you wondered if Allah had forgotten you, if the suffering would never end. But know that everything you have been through has divine meaning. Trials are a form of purification. They do not come to break you, but to strengthen you. Every difficulty has been an opportunity to rise higher. Allah never gives you more than you can handle, and every trial is part of God's process of preparing you for the great blessing. Remember what the Prophet, peace be upon him, said, "When Allah loves a servant, He tests him." Sahih al-Bukhari. This may seem difficult to understand at the time you are going through a trial, but each suffering brings you closer to your Creator. It refines your soul, purifies your heart, and strengthens your faith. Look how you have changed. What you thought was a weakness has become a strength. What you thought was an end is actually a beginning. What you lost, you will find again in a much more beautiful form, and much more in tune with your true destiny. Allah has fashioned you with care. He saw your ability to endure, to persevere in patience, even when all seemed lost. He never looked away from you. Every moment of loneliness, every moment of doubt was a moment when Allah was preparing you to receive something even greater. If you suffered, it's because you were destined to be someone greater. If you were rejected, it is because Allah kept you away from what was not good for you. Each ordeal was a step in your spiritual ascension. Do not see your wounds as marks of weakness, but as proof that you are always growing, evolving under the divine light. Allah chose you, and each ordeal you went through was preparation for this moment. You were not abandoned. You were shaped to be stronger, wiser, closer to Him. And today, at the beginning of this blessed month, all this work that you have done in the invisible begins to blossom. Allah's silence was a form of care. His pauses in response were times He was training you for the greatness that is to come. Don't be discouraged. What's happening is bigger than you imagined. The season of purification is coming to an end, and soon you will reap what you sow. Today, you are at the dawn of a new beginning.
The month of May, which you are waiting for without knowing why, carries within it the key to your transformation. It is not just the external change that you see taking place, but the one that is happening in your heart. Allah has brought you where you need to be for higher reasoning, a divine plan that is slowly unfolding before you. What you perceive as challenges, Allah has already lined up for you to overcome with renewed faith. It is now that your commitment will be tested. You prayed, you hoped, you believed, and now it's time to stand firm in the knowledge that what you've been waiting for is about to come true. This month marks a turning point in your life. What you endured while waiting will now make sense. Everything you have experienced prepares you for this moment, when Allah will give you more than you imagined. The ordeal has forged in you a patience that you did not suspect. This patience was not a simple waiting, but a process of purification. It has cleansed your heart, strengthened your soul, and transformed your perception of the world. Every day you ask yourself why. Allah responded, but in a deep silence which was not a rejection. This silence was the waiting for a specific moment, the moment divinely chosen to pour out His mercy on you.
It is essential to understand that everything that happened to you did not happen by chance. If you have weathered the storm, it is because you were destined to see the light at the end. The beginning of May is a signal. This is a call from Allah for you to be ready to grasp the blessing that is drawing near. But this blessing will not come in the way you imagined. It will come unexpectedly, in a new form that you had not anticipated. This is where your faith will be tested. You don't need to know everything. Allah has not revealed to you the details of what happens next, but He has given you the faith to move forward without seeing the path. The beginning of May is like an open door to new horizons, but it is not only a material change, it is a profound spiritual change. It is you who draw closer to your Creator, you who better understand why some things took time, why some failed, and why others persisted. The wisdom of Allah is infinite. He did not abandon you. He prepared you to see what you were not ready to see before. And now it is time for you to arise with renewed faith. This month is a month of new vision, new opportunities, infinite blessings. Life will never be the same again. This month of May marks not only a temporal change, but a profound spiritual transition. You took your time to understand, to accept, and now Allah is granting you the opportunity to see His greatness in every aspect of your life. This transition goes beyond what you expect in the material world. What you seek is not only a solution to your immediate problems, but an elevation of your soul. Real change starts inside you, in your heart. Allah, in His infinite wisdom, does not always give you what you want immediately. Rather, He offers you what you need to be transformed, to grow spiritually. When you wait in patience, you become stronger. And now, having gone through this period of waiting, you are ready to understand the blessings that unfold before you. Everything you thought you had lost while waiting was actually preparation, inner work that you didn't see but took place in the dark. This month of May opens the door to a new season for you, but be ready to see with the eyes of faith. What you get may not be what you imagined, but it will be exactly what you need. Allah is the one who knows the best version of yourself, the one you have not yet met. And now, when everything seemed frozen, He makes things happen. He shines a new light in your life. The wait, although it seemed endless, was how Allah formed you. He has been waiting for the perfect moment to pour out His mercy, and that time is now. What seemed like a blockage in your life was only preparation for the opening of the door of blessings. The month of May is a sign that suffering has done its work, patience has been cultivated, and you are now ready to receive the fruits of your spiritual efforts. When Allah says that everything is planned, it means that everything you have experienced so far has been a part of this perfect plan. Every moment of solitude, every tear shed, every sincere prayer was an act that brought you closer to what is manifesting now. You believed without seeing. You prayed without hearing an immediate answer, but now the answer is coming. Allah has planned this moment for you, and what you are about to receive is beyond anything you could have imagined. Remember these words. And maybe you hate something even though it's better for you. Surah Al-Baqarah 2216. This month of May is the realization of this truth. What seemed like a delay, what seemed like a defeat, is actually a huge blessing for you. As you move through the month of May, be fully aware that this moment is not a coincidence. It is a divinely orchestrated moment, a manifestation of Allah's grace in your life. You are not here by chance. Allah has guided you through this path, prepared you through trials, and now He is preparing you to receive what has been promised to you. It is essential to understand that what you are about to receive is not just a material blessing. It is a spiritual blessing, an elevation in your faith, a deeper understanding of your role in this world. Allah does not give you just to satisfy your material needs, but to nourish your soul, to help you realize your true essence. This month marks the beginning of a process that will transform your view of the world and bring you closer to your Creator. Now, as May unfolds before you, know that the answer is closer than ever. Allah has planned this moment of receptivity, this moment when you will be ready to receive His blessings. And although the path isn't always easy, everything you've been through was necessary to get to this point. The month of May marks a turning point in your life, a turning point where everything you have experienced takes on new meaning. Let yourself be carried away by this trust in Allah. Let yourself be guided by His light. The blessings that approach will not only be a relief from your trials, but an elevation to a more enlightened version of yourself. This is where the true greatness of what Allah is doing for you lies. This month, your soul will prepare to receive everything that is in store. The month of May is now a starting point, not only for material blessings, but above all, for deep spiritual renewal. What you went through was not in vain. Every trial, every moment of uncertainty, every moment of doubt has brought you closer to this moment. You were forged in difficult times, but this suffering was a seed that you have not yet seen germinate. It is now that you begin to see the first signs of this harvest. Allah has always seen this potential in you. Even when you were in darkness, He, in His great wisdom, knew that you would arrive at this very moment. The patience that you have cultivated over the days, months, and years is now ready to bear fruit. This is why this month, this beginning of May, is not simply a new stage in time. It is a decisive moment in your journey towards fulfilling what Allah has promised you. It is important not to look at what is happening solely through the lens of human temporality. Yes, you are in a world where everything is measured by time, but the blessings of Allah do not follow this same calendar. Sometimes it takes time for the soul to prepare itself to receive what the heart deeply desires. Today, you have the capacity to welcome what Allah has reserved for you. You have matured. You learned to accept Allah's will, even when you did not immediately understand why certain things were delayed. This month of May is a call to gratitude, a call to be fully present in the moment. Blessings do not come only in the form of material goods or visible successes. They come in the form of wisdom, inner peace, closeness with Allah. This is what is most precious, and this month, your heart will be receptive to these divine blessings. The beauty of this month is that it is a manifestation of Allah's mercy, a month where the doors of grace open to you. And even if you don't immediately see all the visible results, Know that every prayer, every moment of patience, every act of faith is taken into account by Allah. This month of May is not a simple end or a beginning, but a continuation of everything you have experienced, a progression in your spiritual path. Allah knows exactly what you need to move towards a better version of yourself. It is crucial at this stage to not only focus on what you will receive, but also on what you are prepared to offer. Blessings are not only there to be received, they are also there to be shared. It is an invitation to be a light to others, to bear witness to the goodness of Allah and to spread His peace around you. This month of May is an opportunity not only to receive, but also to give, to be a source of blessing for those around you. Remember that the greatness of Allah is beyond anything we can understand. What is coming for you is much greater than you can imagine. But in all of this, it is important to stay grounded in your faith, to maintain a strong relationship with Allah, and to recognize that every moment, every trial, every blessing comes from Him. This month, more than any other, is a call to renew your trust in Him, to submit fully to His will, and to move forward with total certainty that everything is planned, everything is perfect in the divine plan. And as you go through this month of May, remember this truth. Allah does not burden a soul beyond its capacity. Surah Al-Baqarah 2:2-8-6. This month is a sign that you are ready, that you have the strength to welcome what comes, and that Allah's blessings are endless. Let us be grateful for every moment and welcome this month with a heart ready to receive all that Allah has planned for us.